guys, and welcome to the first project in our 13 Days of Halloween series for 2019. We did this series last year and it was so much fun, and we could not wait to start again. I've got brand new collections to work with, some great fabulous designs, and of course a shout out to Tech Hubby for our amazing intro. We did that last year for the series and I just loved it so much we decided to keep it. So thank you to him for all the hard work he does behind the scenes to help me produce this series. So for today I've got this very fun retro inspired greeting card. This is made with Echo Park paper, and if you stick with me, we will make this together. For the card today, I'm using the Trick or Treat collection. This is brand new from Echo Park. It is all things retro and fun, and it even has a little vintage camper. I picked up the collection pack. It had the 12 by 12 pattern papers as well as this large sticker sheet, and then I also got the ephemera, which has the fun sentiments and die cuts and all kinds of great add-ons for your projects. So I am going to use this to create a card, which is 6 by 6 inches. I've finished the inside with some of the pattern paper, and later I'll come back and include a space for a sentiment to be added. So this is going to act as my base, and I know in the finished project I have incorporated a few charms, and I want to add them now, which seems like it's too soon, but I want to sandwich the twine that I'm using to hang these in between these paper layers. So I'm going to just wrap that around this black cardstock, and I've already added some double-sided adhesive tape. I'm just going to press that into place so it will hold its place while I add it to the card, and I'm going to snip off this little bit of excess and add some liquid Tombow Mono Multi so that I have a double layer of adhesive, and I will be confident that will stay on my card base. I'm just adhering that centered on the top of the card base, and I'll pull these charms out of the way just so that I can continue working. And my first pattern paper is this fabulous non-traditional spider web. So this is a gray web on darker gray paper, and it's not very contrasting, so this works perfectly as a background layer because you do get some detail, but it doesn't really compete with the next layers. And I'm just using an 1/8 of an inch border so that I can have a nice bit of that cardstock showing all the way around. Next, I cut a dovetail banner shape from one of the plaids, and I just used my guillotine cutter to cut that rectangle, and then I folded it in half and snipped that dovetail so it would be centered just where it would look best. And I'm going to bring that all the way up to the top of the pattern paper so that I can take advantage of that black border that already exists. My next layer is a netting, and this is fun, really reasonable ribbon trim. I'm just going to add this here, and I'm going to tack it in place with a little hot glue because the next layers will really work to secure this down, but I don't want it to shift around while I work. So I'm going to just add a little bit of hot glue to tack that in place. Not as much of this shows, but it does add some nice texture. I've die cut a doily. This is the French pastry doily from Cherryland Designs, and I'm going to offset that from the center because I want to fill in that space in the corner a little bit. It will have a nice border around my focal image, so that will be perfect right there. I've brought in another raised section here, and this I cut with that just craft foam, and I'm going to pop that up here, and that will be a border for my next paper layer. But as I do, I like to add a second layer of adhesive just so that I'm confident that foam will stay in place. And this sets up pretty quickly. Instead of going right in the center of that doily, I'm just going to move that circle down a bit. And now we're really building up a lot of depth and dimension with all of these spacers. So this is the sweetest vintagey candy pattern. It's just got an all over but small pattern, so some of it will be seen around the focal image, and I've used those circle dies to create a nice border with black cardstock. Next, I'm going to bring in a trick or treat sentiment, and this actually was part of a larger piece of the ephemera, and I just clipped that out because I wanted it to be a large sentiment block. And I want to layer one of my glitter stars. I have a few that I'm going to bring in, but this is going to accent this sentiment. So I want to place that down first so that I know it's right where I want it to be. And for this smaller section, I did raise a portion of it up where it will come over the edge of this center section so that it will be flat on the front of the card. It's kind of working along this being the top layer. Here is my actual focal image, and this was part of a larger journal card. I just clipped that out, leaving a border of white around it so that it would definitely pop off of the background. And I've got one more of those stars to work in over here. I just want to hold this in place so that I can see where my placement is going to be. That way I know I've got this star right where I want it. I put foam on the back of this as well, so one more layer of dimension, and this guy is just absolutely the cutest retro cat, and he is just about in the center there. My first small flower arrangement are created with coordinating Halloween papers, and I have added some stamens just to give them some detail, and these are some cherry blossom flowers from Cherryland Designs, and I just typically like to make a lot of flowers at once. So if I've got the football game on, or I have some time to be busy but I'm not feeling creative, I can just make a lot of flowers, and that way they'll be ready when I want to use them. So I have a polka dot and just a dark gray here. I put in some leaves behind, and I pulled that gray from the spider web so that I could bring that color into the foreground. And then one more of those glitter stars. These are just Sizzix stars that I cut from glitter paper, and a little bit of loopy twine bow, and you see. And then I want to add that right about here because I don't want to hide any of that sentiment. And that is adhered with some hot glue, and that will be strong enough to hold all those bulky items on. I tied a bow here with this gorgeous orange chevron twill with another loopy twine bow on top, and then an actual vintage button. This came from the antique shop from my birthday shopping, and I'm gonna just top that banner section with this bow. I love how that white and orange really brightens up the front of this card. So now I can bring these charms down where they're meant to hang. I also included from the sticker sheet a spooky sentiment, and I adhered that sticker to a piece of 110-pound cardstock and then cut it back out because I wanted to keep its shape, and just the sticker alone would have been too flimsy and it would have folded in the middle. So this will hold its shape. And then I've also included some scrapbook adhesive foam squares so that I can pop up the sides and that twine will run underneath of it. This is a cute way to bring the orange color to this corner, as well as sort of contain these charms so they don't move all over the place too much. It also adds a little extra depth and dimension. Now for the final bit, I've got some more of these handcrafted flowers. The larger flowers are cut from the Amazing Paper Grace poinsettia die from Becca Feekin, and I use that for just about every season. I don't feel like that has to necessarily be a Christmas flower. I just like the shape of it, and they're very easy to assemble and cut out. So I've got that with polka dot paper again, and those stamens, these came from Really Reasonable Ribbon, and there are just a couple of other colors. I alternated them and then worked a little bit of that twine in between and some more leaves, and that will create a nice arrangement. Now I can move it around and get it placed just exactly so, and you'll see that that will help to hold down that piece of netting that we put in the first layer. And I just want to position that so I'm not hiding any of those details underneath. I think that bow tie is really quite charming on that smiling cat. And now that card is all done. So that is all for the first project in our 13 Days of Halloween series. If you enjoyed this project, you want to make sure and come back tomorrow. And for the rest of the series, we have many special projects planned for you, and I'm very excited to share them all. Don't forget to leave me a thumbs up and a comment. And if you're not already, I would love for you to subscribe. As always, I'm wishing you a happy and productive day, and I thank you so much for watching. Bye.